live and we're good. Hashtag no music, no intro. Saints Block Party podcast. Live stream number 2 on YouTube. How is everyone doing? Just finished some shout out to young Kuvo. Just some NFL playoffs this weekend, the divisional round. Some say the most exciting round of football. As a Saints fan, that sometimes is not the case, but thank y'all for joining us. We're going to try to keep this a tight 30, but we might go a little over. Just open it up for questions and answers to our people. Patreon, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, whenever. This is y'all's time to talk football. I'll start here, and Ryan, don't worry about Ryan. She's just trying to get the word out so people can hop in, and I'm just doing one last thing myself. So sorry.
It's a live stream, man. We just chilling.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Got my 28 to 3 t-shirt on. So I wanted to start this live stream and watching these playoffs, and I tweeted about it after watching football yesterday. Is the Saints are very steady. No, Dennis Allen is not going yet, unfortunately. The Saints are very stubborn on keeping Dennis Allen at least for another season, and so I wanted to have an open discussion of what is the path for this iteration of Saints to now, I don't even say make a run in the playoffs, but maybe have a Tampa Bay Bucks-ish run in the playoffs. Because I listen, I'm trying not to be as pessimistic and as downtrodden as a fan because of everything that's going on. And they have given us plenty of reasons to be downtrodden. So Jerry, but I would just Derek Carr's the quarterback, DA's the head coach.
Man, you sound look like little. I know you ain't talking about saying I look like Lil Ya. Animal don't know who Lil Ya is. I don't look like nothing like Lil Ya, bro.
No idea, no clue.
Keep going, bro.
I'm white. Translate, please.
Apple the Lil Ya stuff for my New Orleans rap history podcast that I've been coming out with for the last 3 years.
Apple Mac 2009 says the Bucks had the season, the Saints wanted to have with the brighter future and cap situation. Yes. Can we something else about the Bucks, right? Just sticking in the division, because the first thing as an organization, as a team, that you're supposed to do is before you even think of how can I beat the Chiefs, how can I beat the Bills, right? Initially, you always think about how do I get out of my division? How can I, be the division champion? If you just go and look at that Bucks draft that they had this past season, having 2 rookies. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking the Rams. But you had Clancy, who was a good pick, and it's something that's just startling is how much the Lions is a perfect example of what great drafting does and transform your team. It's crazy. And I think the thing I keep going back to the Saints is you had that draft, or you had players that you drafted at some point either before 2017 or after 2017, and there's this rush of getting these good players away, and you're not replacing them with just as good or better players.
That's the key right there. That's the key right there. You're gonna lose players. Like you can't keep especially if they're good. If you get good players, sometimes it's out of your control. Sometimes they want to leave. Sometimes the money, sometimes the money just not adding up for positional value, stuff like that.
Big shout out to Dustin with the super like. Appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate that, Just. But as an organization, you have to have the forethought to be like, okay, this is a player, and they've shown that in the past. Sometimes, they had that with from Kenny Vaccaro to Von Bell, from Von Bell to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Somehow they just lost it, bro. They just I don't know what happened, but that forethought just seemed to be gone,
Well, I mean, the Chauncey thing wasn't so. It's so funny because I remember when we talked about when Alante got drafted of him being the potential Chauncey replacement, like the night after the draft, we talked about it, right?
Right.
And the Chauncey thing, it wasn't that like they had like the next in line to replace him. It was just, it's so funny that Chauncey gets traded and he's the first like big domino in the DA regime of like changing the culture, making these tweaks. And Chauncey has been on teams. One went to the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles, and now he's with the Lions, who are in the NFC Championship game. So it looks like Chauncey doesn't seem to be the problem. Like a goon, yes, but
probably annoying at times. But the boy can ball. The boy can
ball,
the boy can play. You know what I'm saying? No question about
it. Tampa Bay went cheap and cleaned up the cap and still won the division. Mark says, mind you, the Lions have drafted very well the last few seasons and not just the most recent.
Yeah.
Yes. Also,
perfect example.
Someone had made a point on Twitter of like how Dan Campbell came to the Lions, like took over a team that was like 3 and whatever, and in 3 years has them in the NFC Championship game. And that DA took over like a Saints team that had won 9 games, and that man hasn't made the playoffs once.
And was lucky to win 9 games this year. Looking at that as an achievement.
Achievement, bro.
9 games. What you talking about, baby?
Yeah, you got Cam Jordan tweeting about it.
Oh man.
Here we go. So it's on Twitter. It was at @G_Hannah Jr. Dan Campbell inherited a 5-win team and in 3 years got into the NFC Championship game. Dennis Allen inherited a 9-win team and is going into his 3rd season yet to make the playoffs. Next year, the excuses better be gone or him and Mickey can dip together.
Straight up.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
It was the same thing with the Raiders. There he inherited a what? It was an 8 or 9-win team. Hugh Jackson.
He came after Hugh Jackson, right?
8 or 9-win team. Excuse. They didn't have a quarterback. They had Carson Palmer this Allen's first year. Got rid of him after a year because apparently he wasn't good, and he
went to Arizona.
And had an All-Pro season. I don't know if he was All-Pro, but he was damn near All-Pro. But hey, he couldn't figure out the quarterback problem. Was going through, had Terrell Pryor and was it Matt Flynn? Was it Matt Flynn? I can't remember.
Someone was talking to us that we should try to reach out to Terrell Pryor to get him on the podcast. So
man, that's a good idea too.
It's crazy because I still remember that Terrell Pryor run he had against the Steelers. That run is ingrained. It's
imprinted in my head, bro. It's a beautiful run.
Shout out to our dude.
We got something cooking.
Our dude Nat for the super. We appreciate you.
Shout out Nat, man. Much love, Nat, bro.
All love. Mark says, y'all realize how many ex-Saints there were in the playoffs this year?
What you called it, bro? You called it a brain drain. Not just with in the coaching staff, but the players everywhere, bro. Like a lot of talent exiting.
Just go. It's like if you lose talent coaching wise, right? You at least have to have similar level of talent or close to on the field player wise to like at least try to maybe continue some level of success. When you lose both, you end up where the Saints are right now.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, that's a struggle of, all coaches. Like, one of the keys that people don't talk about to being like a really, really good head coach, like a great head coach, is they're able to develop coaches. Able to bring young coaches in, develop them over time, and put them. So what inevitably happens, your good if you have a good offensive coordinator, good DC, they're going to leave at some point.
At some point,
and you got to be able. The real great coaches develop talent in house, and they keep coming up. They keep coming up. That's why you keep seeing the Shanahan tree pop up all over. Where are these coaches coming from? I mean, God damn, how many coaches? They keep developing them, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might not be good, but some of them might.
Right.
But they keep them in the stock, and teams keep coming after them. Sean McVay.
Greg Carter, really quickly. Man, the Bills got Jim Kelly 2.0. Plus, get Diggs out of here.
I know you about to quote that Diggs story.
I will preface this by saying Diggs did not have a good game. I will preface that by saying he had an awful game.
He had a funny year. He had a real funny year.
He did. I hope that Stephon Diggs gets very far away from Buffalo and just excels, because what Josh Allen said to him in the playoffs last year was like such a like boy, like bro.
As a black man, I could no.
I didn't like Josh Allen before knowing what was said. Anything that happens to the Bills now, I'm just like, good. Don't care. I do not care. Plus, it's Buffalo. It's like one of the most racist places, low key,
especially the North. Like,
fuck, screw the Bills fans. Don't care. I do not care.
Damn, wasn't we escaping? Wasn't we escaping up there? You know what I'm saying? We try to get to the South, get up there. We get up there and still got racist.
Hey, sorry. And I'm not going to go into like the explicit details of what was said, but I have become a Stephon Diggs fan of how like he's been able to carry himself after that. And I couldn't stand him after the Minnesota Miracle. Couldn't stand him, bro. And I heard that, I was like, okay, cool. But going back to the playoffs thing, and I do want to hit on some. I want to hit on this OC thing, because I'm intrigued about this whole offensive coordinator thing, bro. Like,
yeah, bro, we got to get on that.
I don't know if I'm looking too much into it, but there's been a lot of requests and no actual interviews. Something that I always appreciated what Sean did, and sometimes he did it and he didn't do it right, but I appreciated the vision, is that he looks at what is working in the NFL, who are the teams in the NFL in the playoffs, what are they doing well, how do I get my team, my program to be on that level. He did it like every playoff, especially when the Saints were in the playoffs. It's like, what is my team missing to get us there, right? And ever since I knew Sean did that, I started like looking at the playoffs very differently. I started looking at, if the Saints are going to be successful, what are the things that they need to do, right? So this past weekend, I was like, you got Lamar, you got CJ Stroud, you got Josh Allen, you got Patrick Mahomes, and Jordan Love, and then like the outliers, Baker Mayfield. Baker was still a number one overall pick, right? Jared Goff, still a number overall pick. So even though they're not players on that quarterback like level, they had like at least the quote unquote pedigree, right? And they have great, like good coaching, the great coaching to kind of like help them up.
Yeah.
Like if the Saints, and I know that they're not, at least not this season, but I just wonder. I wonder if Jeff Ireland, who has been great in terms of drafting secondary players, but I wonder if he is maybe thinking, I know Dennis Allen or Derek Carr is not the answer. This quarterback class is one of the best ever. I wonder if one of those quarterbacks starts to slip just a little bit in this upcoming draft. I wonder if this is the year, and I'm not hearing anything at all, that they make a move. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I think Ireland already has had an eye for it. You know what I'm saying? I remember reading last year, like after Drew left, he said he went and talked to Drew to really like pick his brain, like what's the secret sauce in somebody like Drew Brees? Like what is it that really makes you tick? And you know, Drew Brees gave him a list of things that I think he asked him like what really separates you, you know? And I think Drew said something along the line of processing. You know what I'm saying? The ability to process really, really quickly. You know, but just seeing that just made me think like, man, Jeff Ireland, I know he really wants to get that QB. You know what I'm saying? But it has, if you draft if a franchise drafts a quarterback in the first round, has to be organizational agreement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It has to be they're going to do this. You know what I'm saying?
And
I just don't think they have that right now.
And I'm glad you say that, because we saw a perfect example of what happens when they're not organization agreement just with the Panthers this past draft.
Exactly.
Do we not?
Exactly.
Frank Wright, I know he's fired. I know that man's not unemployed. I know he'd be watching the playoffs just sitting home with his arms crossed like, see? I told you.
I told you.
Right? Like, wouldn't you, bro?
Hell
like,
yeah.
So that is such a key. And like you said, it has to be an organizational decision. Nat says, is Jeff going to be here? I don't know, man. I have no clue. No clue.
Chargers interviewed him. They interviewed a couple of other people, so I don't know.
Don't know. But if DA is in job preservation mode, why would like drafting a quarterback would not be the wise decision for him?
No,
in the first round at all. Like he's going to want someone that's going to contribute immediately, and drafting a quarterback just goes against that notion completely.
I wonder about that though, because sometimes if you get the quarterback right, that's the key. If you get the quarterback right,
can save jobs, bro.
Can save jobs. You go look at somebody like Zach Taylor. Trying to think of somebody. I mean,
I think Zach Taylor is like the biggest one, bro. Because like
the biggest one.
And go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, D'Amico Ryans, even though it was his first year, like getting that quarterback right was so crucial for him, bro. Like that changed the game for him. That, you know what I'm saying? Like now people ain't even worried about him as a head coach. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Which is a good head coach.
He is.
But it's like you got the quarterback right though. You know what I'm saying? And it just covers up so much.
It's a cheat code, bro. It's a cheat code. Like you cannot, like it is unfathomable for me to, as an organization, you just look at these playoffs, and if you don't have the guy behind center, it's hard to fucking win. It is hard to win. And like at best, you could have like a Jared Goff situation, and I get it. It's kind of hard on him. Ben Johnson does give him a lot of the answers to the questions, but like something that I noticed when watching that game today is I think Goff, as he's been in the league longer, he gets off his reads quicker than he did when he was with McVay. Like when he was like, if the initial read is gone, I saw it a lot against the Bucs. That initial read's gone, he's going to the next read. Derek Carr struggled. Yeah, he has. Derek Carr like struggles to do that as like a 10-year vet, bro. Like
still 10-year vet. Nah, bro, Goff made like a 3rd and 15 throw on a rope. And I was like, man, like that's a narrative changer right there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know where you put him. Like, no, he's not a leader, nothing like that. But throws like that in the playoffs against the blitz, Todd Bowles blitz that was, coming.
Right.
Those you either got it in you or you don't.
I got this for you then. So one quick. Michael Tolliver says, what's up? It was up. Sorry. Hearing the Saints want to trade Lattimore to Detroit for Hendon Hooker and a draft pick. Oh no, sorry, Mike didn't say that. Roderick said that. Roderick, sorry. I can't I have not heard that. It doesn't mean that's not true. Honestly, if I'm the Saints, like I'm telling Detroit, give me your 2025 first round pick. I'm telling San Francisco, give me your 2025 first round pick, and if that's not where the conversation's starting, then don't talk to us.
Don't talk to me.
This is where and me and Max Dart saying was not a debate, but we were just having a discussion in our Discord earlier today, just in the sense of, and I get it. Like, to his point, he's like, if they're going to trade Lattimore, then get the assets, and then they have the assets to go draft. I just keep coming back to they have not done well with the assets, and that doesn't mean that they should stop trying to draft, because that's not what an organization does. But that's my concern when making a move like that. Like, it would be different if the team had a better track record with their draft picks, if they're trading away proven talent. But like, you can just look at the CD Deuce example is a perfect example. They traded away CD Deuce to rely on Courtney or Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby didn't work out. Then Alonte's in the slot. Alonte in the slot didn't work out. That slot position is not like, it's in flux when it didn't need to be, right? Like, that's where I get to. Trading Lattimore in and of itself is absolutely dumb for the reasons they want to trade him. They're not trading him to be smart. They're not trading him to be like, oh, well, we paid Lattimore, now we got to pay Adebo. That's not why they're trading him. They're trading him because they're trying to prove a point. And that's why the team is where they are in terms of not being a good team, even though they won 9 games. They're hustling backwards and doing everything wrong team building wise that an NFL team should do.
Exactly. It's the process. It's the reason you got there. It is like to me, if they're smart, I would hold on to Lattimore. One, I would probably wait until we get into the season.
Right, the trade deadline, because then you know someone's going to be desperate, especially a team.
And he's coming off an injury, so right now his value is extremely low because people are like, oh, he's been injured 2 years in a row, blah blah blah. Let him get healthy. Let him have a good training camp. Let him start in the beginning of the season, look good like he does, come in playing elite. Then you got his value extremely high. Oh, that's when you sell. But they ain't gonna do that, bro.
You think it's too smart, bro. You think it's too smart right now, Ryan.
They're not gonna do that shit, bro.
They struggle with the run game all season. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's trade maybe Taysom and AK. Like, you gonna go in the season relying on Kendrick Miller? Oh my God, Ryan! I'm trying, bro.
Trying, man.
It's hard, bro. It's hard. Can we talk OCs? I'm gonna talk OCs. They have now made a request of 4 different offensive people in the NFL to interview for the vacant offensive coordinator position. They've Zach Robinson from the Rams, someone from the Bengals. I'm blanking on his name. Pitcher, Shane Waldron, former OC, or technically still the OC of the Seahawks, even though Pete Carroll's not there anymore. So probably former OC of the Seahawks. And then they just made a request was it Jarrod Johnson to the Vikings, quarterbacks coach? Hold on. I want to make sure I get his name right. This is terrible live streaming. Jarrod Johnson. I had it right. See? So he's a quarterbacks coach. Both the Browns and the Saints have requested to interview Jarrod Johnson. Okay. Have they actually interviewed someone yet? Has there been a story? Has there been a report? Has there been anything that they've actually interviewed someone?
No, man, but it says it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Zach Robinson, he's interviewing with the Patriots this week for their
position. The Bears already the Bears made a request to interview Zach Robinson around the same time that the Saints did. So he's already interviewed with the Bears. He's going to interview with the Patriots. Is there a scheduling conflict? Is Microsoft
Zoom not working?
I need answers, Ryan.
Maybe they already did. I'm just saying. Maybe they already did.
Why wouldn't that be out though? Why would Like, why would that they've completed the interview? Like saying that they've made the request is it's great. It's fine and dandy. I love that. What have you?
Nick reported to Zach Robinson and Shane Waldron 4 days ago. So I don't know, bro. Did they put in a request for Joe Brady, or was that just Twitter?
No, they didn't put a request for Joe Brady.
Okay.
Eddie said your boy said interviews have been completed. Okay. Okay. All right. Sure. It's just weird to me that of all the teams, especially for and this is the thing with the OC thing, and I want people to be clear about this. The reason why, and I only know for sure Greg Roman was one of the people that they wanted to interview last season. I don't know who the other two people were. Maybe I'll ask one day. I don't really care to know, but a big reason why those three candidates did not completely just politely decline even being interviewed is that the perception is that if they took the job as offensive coordinator, they would not be able to run their offense. And why would you, as an OC, and you have a vision of what you want to run offensively, why would you go to a team where the head coach is essentially going to dictate to you what to do offensively? So that was a big reason no one wanted to interview with the Saints. Well, I say no one, but the three people that they wanted to interview last year for OC didn't happen. Are we, I guess, and this is the question I don't know. Is DA going to finally let the reins free of say, hey, whoever the OC's coming in, run your offense. Go run it. I'll do me. I'll try to scheme up something defensively. Offensively, you go do your thing. Because if not, what is even the incentive for someone to come to the Saints and be the OC? And let's say DA still meddling with the offense and the offense isn't good, then you become Pete Carmichael 2.0, do you not?
Yeah. I guess my only thing is I do wonder behind the scenes, before they put the official request in, do they talk to the agent or talk to the coach like, hey, look,
I would imagine they have to.
You think they have to. So that's why I'm like, man, ain't no way they actually put in an official request and then get denied by the interview. I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it happen. But what you definitely could see happen is the coaches with options.
Yep.
They make a list. And Saints at the bottom of that goddamn list. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm looking at
you make a pros and you make a cons.
Make pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? If the Bears interview me to be OC, and I got a choice between Caleb, or even at worst, I get Justin Fields, who I could do some fun things with. Oh shit! It's not even a question.
Bye. Chris says, outside of saying Rodgers, who needs a job, who the hell wants to work with an incompetent coach? He can barely run his scheme correctly. So here's the thing, and this is what was told to me, and it made a lot of sense. But outside of saying Waldron, they are making requests to coordinators or position coaches who have never called NFL offensive plays before, right?
Yeah.
I tweeted about this today. Coaching is a lot of ego. It's basically like being an athlete, a player on the field, but the schematic portion of it, statistical wise, right? So as a coach, if I'm a quarterback's coach or a passing game coordinator, in my head, I'm like, shit, if I can go to New Orleans, go down there, and I can make things cook with fucking Derek Carr and Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed and make it exciting and fun and make us one of the top offenses in the league. All it takes is one good season. Does it not? You get hot and you show your worth 1.5 good season in the NFL, you're the next hot head coaching candidate. So if you see the Saints as an opportunity where you could do that, and you've never called NFL plays before, or NFL play or offensive plays in the NFL before, and that's your only option that you have, then it makes sense. But like Ryan just said, if there's options, then I don't know.
Right. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm just waiting to see.
Let's see. Our dude Tony said you can kind of see it this year. The couple of games where we did jump on teams by 2 to 3 scores, the offense immediately went ultra conservative despite it being pretty early. That is a DA trait by
100%.
far.
100%.
It's so funny because it's like the exact opposite of what Sean Payton would do. Sean going for the throat, bro.
Throat coming up behind you. Trying to slit that thing.
Ara Stark style, bruh. But yes. What is this? This man said Stephon Diggs sold out like a criminal on the first 48. That's the thing about the playoffs, man. Like he had one bad playoff game, and people like forget like all the clutch and big plays he's made in Buffalo during the playoff. Like it's a recency bias.
Yeah, bro. It's playoffs though, man. Like
it is though, man.
Because boy, like Josh Allen threw that thing had to be 75 yards, bro. He hummed that thing.
Rope, Ryan. A rope.
Right there. That would have been it. I mean, I'm not saying that would have been the game, but it would have been pretty close to being the game. You know what I'm saying? I love the playoffs, bro. Just especially divisional playoffs because
my god,
all 11 players on both sides are playing like it's it. Like they are.
Oh, bro, it's so
locked in.
Woo, it's so good to see, bro.
Every inch matters. Every decision matters.
Pause.
Like there's and there's like no room for error, bro. None. Room for error. Bro.
None. Can we just quickly two things? One, the stat that the 6 years that Patrick Mahomes has been a starting quarterback, he's been to 6 AFC championship games.
He's never not played in the AFC championship as a starter.
That is wild.
That's ridiculous. Like
that is
wild. Credit to him and Andy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. And this year, was their roughest year as far as like they didn't look all together, but still.
It didn't matter. Even as big as I was the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan that they were pre-draft. There was no one a bigger fan than me. Even me did not see. Like I saw something similar to this. I did not see this. It also helped that he went. It also helps he got with Andy Reid. He went to Kansas City. But I think you said it in our Discord perfectly. At the end, like talent wins out, man. Like talent is going to show through. Would he still be Patrick Mahomes if he had went to the Bears, if they had drafted him instead of Mitchell Trubisky or whatever? Not the same version, but would he still be close to a player and probably still a winner he is now? Absolutely, he would have been.
Of course.
And I'm not even talking about the Saints right now. Next week, we get Patrick Mahomes against one of the best modern day defenses we have seen in a what they did against the Texans. I felt like they were at that, like, what was the Denver team that won the Super Bowl against Cam? Like that was like, right, 2015. That the way they played, bro, I'm like, this might be one of the best defenses I've seen since 2015. Like, real talk, bro. Like, it was that insane. Now you get
just see it too.
Oh, bro, it's apparent. Now you get one of the greatest quarterbacks ever played football going against that defense in the AFC Championship game, and Lamar playing.
Oh man,
sweating, bro, sweating.
I can't wait, bro. That's gonna be a good one.
Shout out to our dude Mitch. I see Gerard Johnson getting a lot of interviews. We need an arrogant, aggressive motherfucker as our next head coach, but I doubt DA has the balls to work with that kind of assistant. I think right now DA is desperate as hell, man.
Yeah. I mean, Pete Carmichael gone, so they got to get somebody.
Got to, bro. Well, I will say this: if they've made 4 requests to interview people for OC. If all 4 tell them no, and they got to like tuck their tail between their legs and go to like Ronald Curry and be like, "Hey, Ron, that would be." And Ron might be a great OC, bro. Like he might go out there and cook. Maybe, but organizational wise, do you know how much of an embarrassment that would be, bro?
Oh man. Do you think they bring in John Gruden as some kind of offensive role.
Probably.
Like,
Probably. Yes. More than
especially
likely.
if they don't get it like an OC they want.
I could easily see it. Easily see it. Let's see. Watching really the playoffs. Oh, this is Eddie. Watching the playoffs really shows how few dogs the Saints have left on the team. There's no juice. Love DeMario, but I don't necessarily want a man of God to be the baddest dude on the team.
That's cold, man. Yeah, bro. Listen, DeMario a man of God, but on the football field, boy, he ain't with none of that shit.
None of it, bro.
He leave God in the locker room.
Eddie's point is outstanding, bro. Because you said this a little bit too regarding like the Chiefs, right? You said like Mahomes don't really have dogs. Like the only dog offensively they really have is like Pacheco, right? And
he is a dog. He is
dog, bro. DA has gotten rid of all the dogs, bro.
All of them, bro. Mike Thomas about to be out. Like, say what you want, Mike Thomas been injured, but even when he was healthy this year, bro, that dude was playing his ass off, man. Kamara, Lattimore. I keep thinking about that play Lattimore made against the Jaguars, where he basically ran that wide receiver route and picked the ball off. I'm like, man, all right, bro. Y'all want to get rid of that? Okay.
Let me preface this by saying I'm not giving credit to the Falcons. I'm not giving credit to the Falcons. But I do appreciate the amount of depth that they're putting in their head coaching search.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are turning every stone. Every stone. They're turning. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. I just got a text message. I can't. What was your question you asked me about a little bit about someone, right? Someone might be getting a role.
Oh, John Gruden.
Anyway, we can keep going. If you picked up on it, then good for you. If you didn't, then you might be lost. I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it rolling, right? Gotta be quick. Here's the funny thing though. It would be absolutely hilarious if John Gruden was the head coach or was the OC, because you have the person that like couldn't stand Carr like the most when he was his head coach, now his OC, bro.
Hey, he might be what we need up in the building, bro. Just slandering carpenter.
He over there talking to Jeff Ireland like, damn, Kai got some big lips, don't he?
Bro, you know him and Ireland gonna cut up. You know they all from the hood.
And here's the thing that would make it sickening. The thing that would bother me, John Gruden as OC would bother me for a lot of reasons, but the thing that would bother me the most is it makes it a very easy succession plan if DA does not work out. That is like terrible. Like that's the scary part, bro.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be interested because I don't know if Loomis is a John Gruden guy, but Loomis, I don't know what to say about Loomis at this point. After that shit last week, that person, bro, I just don't have.
No hope, bro. No hope.
I was on the mollies.
Dante, our dude, says, no matter how many dogs, it still comes back to your leader being one of those said dogs. Dogs can ID dogs, not ship them away like DA.
Poetry.
Ooh.
They're dropping rhymes about dogs. Rain on it. Bars.
Mitch says, if you were the Bills, would you go after Harbaugh or Belichick? Ooh, that's a good question for Mitch.
That's a good one.
I would, but like I think here's the thing. The Seahawks got rid of like Pete Carroll to kind of like buck the trend and be like ahead to go get Dan Quinn, which is like really weird to me. But like I at some point like to take a line from like Dean Spanos, like continuity, like how long can continuity really stay? You know what I mean? Like I think this iteration of the Bills and how they're set up, like they've shown you, and Sean McDermott, who's a good coach, I think they've shown you as far as they can go with it. And I don't. Perfect example is that fake punt. I don't know if that was called or if they audible to it because they saw that Kansas City had 10 people on the field on special teams and they just audible to it. But like, what the hell? Like, because if if Hartman does not fumble, that game is not even remotely as close as it ended up being.
Hell no. I mean, they got saved by that Cole Hartman play, bro. They got saved by that shit because I was like, what? At this moment, you do that?
And I was like, did Sean McDermott call? And this is on CBS's terrible production. We didn't get one replay of the fake punt. Not one, bro. Not one. Lexi 6. Okay. What do y'all think about Lattimore to the Lions? I feel like Lattimore is like Detroit or San Francisco bound. I really like those are the two teams that just jump out to me.
But man, why would you keep him in the NFC, bro? Why help out?
Oh, you mean like CD Duke's getting traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, Ryan? I don't know. I don't know. I can't even pronounce. Is it? It's Sean with the J in front. How do you pronounce that, Ryan? Jashawn Smith says, "What are the possibilities of DA getting fired next season, even after that Mickey Loomis press conference?" It's very high. If DA does not produce and win, the chance of him getting fired is very, very high. Which again is like we said on our last episode we recorded. If you believed in this man so much, why did you guys try to set up a succession plan that took the heat off Mickey Loomis if DA had to be fired? That to me shows that you don't really believe in him as head coach. Like, real talk. Does it?
At the very least, doubts are creeping in, as they should have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that Mickey Loomis presser tells me that because you come out with that shit about Bill Walsh and Tom Landry and Chuck Noll and all that, you sound like somebody you trying to convince yourself. Like you trying to
can Dennis Allen be Dan Campbell?
No.
I'm not even saying not even Hall of Fame head coach. Can he just be Dan Campbell, Ryan?
No. I've never seen players come out and talk about DA the way they talk about Dan Campbell. And that's not like there are players that like DA. You know what I'm saying? Like there are players that like DA, you know, like, hey, they like DA. DA all right, you know what I'm saying? But nobody gonna point to him and be like, man, this
our dude.
Here, this is like my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No one's gonna pull a Max Crosby and go to the owner of the team and say, hey, Gail,
get me out of here.
If you don't hire this man and retain him as head coach, I'm not staying here anymore, and I'm your best player on the team.
Ain't nobody doing that shit.
Nobody
doing that shit. Nobody. Not Cam. Nobody.
Let's see. Let's look at some questions. Nat says, like, if Gruden is brought in as OC, that would probably mean that Gruden would be. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying if DA falls on his face and if Gruden is offensive coordinator, like, yes, more than likely. Michael says, and why need you need a culture tweak when the main reason you said you hired the loser was to keep the culture?
I'm still waiting on the answer. I've been asking that.
Please respond. Please respond.
Mike Triplett asked the same thing at the Mickey Loomis presser. It's like,
he pulled the Neo, bro. Sherman said, I do sure. Blackbeard himself. Who would you like to see as offensive coordinator? It has to be two different answers, of course, even though we know no one wants to work with DA. I would like Zach Robinson because the passing concepts that helped the Rams with Puka and let me preface by saying this: Puka's a dog. Cooper Cup was not even like really Cooper Cup this season, but that Rams offense, especially in the passing game, hummed, and we saw it like those at the game at the Rams game. We saw it. I would want Zach Robinson. So will that happen? I don't know. What about you?
I'm
No,
with Zach Robinson. Oh, got to be
Sherm said it
somebody
can't be the
different.
same. Yes.
Who else on the list? Waldron.
And then the Bengals guy, and then the Vikings quarterbacks coach, Gerard Johnson.
Man, none of them names excite me, bro. They really don't, man. I guess the Vikings. I guess.
Okay.
Because he's worked with like a traditional pocket passer, Kirk Cousins. He also worked with people like Dobbs and stuff like that. Worked with a lot of young quarterbacks. I thought their offense was good for the most part all year. Inconsistent obviously with all the injuries, but I thought for the most, like, they featured guys like the tight end and stuff like that. That's what I want, bro. Like, what happened to featuring a player going into a game and say, okay, this matchup, we can win this matchup. Let's feature Chris Olave this game, or let's feature Jawan Johnson this game, or Alvin Kamara. They linebacker. How many times we seem like, man, them linebackers shitty. AK can meet them up, and they just don't even use AK in the pass game or whatever.
You know what Ben Johnson did to again? Okay. He made Jamar Gibbs with a choice route, and look at that. Look at that, bro. I was watching that play and I was like, oh, must be nice, bro. I remember when. That's
all I want, bro. I want to bring whatever OC comes, bro. Just somebody that
excitement,
matchup football, excitement that comes with a plan every week, a plan that makes sense, and be the man in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like Pete was with all this collaboration stuff, and that sounds nice. You know what I'm saying? If you're working on like a class project or something, but you the OC, you got to be the man to be like, this is what we're doing. These are the type of shits we gonna run. Yeah, I'm gonna take some input from the wide receiver coach and the running back coach. Just that,
put it all together.
But you got to run your shit.
Can we also all the like the stat nerds and like the draft Nick nerds that like were up in arms at the Lions drafted Jamar Gibbs? Where they drafted him? Are they still?
I hated it then, and I hate it now. Like, draft good players.
That's it.
Good players. It works.
That's it.
It works.
I swear it does. I swear it does.
Man. Even like this, like the Saints coming up. Yes, they need to focus on offensive line, defensive line. Trenches are of the highest importance outside of quarterback when building your team. But if Bowers is sitting there, 14, and he's the best, like I keep people saying, like, oh, he's like the best player in the draft, or the third best player in the draft, but I wouldn't take him in the first round. What? That doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense.
What? Yes. Who said this?
I was listening. I don't know if it was the Move the Sticks. It wasn't the first round. It was top of the first round, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, go. It wasn't Move the Sticks that said, but it was on the podcast. It's like, don't get caught up in the whole Kyle Pitts thing and all that shit. Get good players, man. Draft good players, bro. Period, man. Period.
Oh, sorry.
That's how you end up with shit like that's when you get situations like Falsky.
I guess. Sorry, I apologize. I've been calling Gerard Johnson the Vikings coach, but he was the quarterbacks coach for the Texans. I apologize. That's my fault.
Oh, okay.
That's on me.
I mean, I don't even know what to think about that. I mean, their OC was a first year OC, so
yes. Really quickly, Sherm had another question. Hold on. Mitch said if they get a first round pick in this year's draft for either Lat or AK, do you pull the trigger? Okay, AK is not going to get them a first back, and Lat, if they trade him, will probably be a pick in 2025, not this year. let's see. Shajon Smith says players were talking about how bad his coaching was mid-season, but hey, let Lil Belichick stay and cook, I guess. They were talking about it, bro. Tony says so. This is a good question. Tony says, say you're the good or the next head coach for the Saints, and this we'll answer this a little bit, but it kind of goes into our next podcast episode. What young players already on the roster would you want to build around? 4 on offense and 4 on defense. Tony, we're actually gonna save that one for our 5 like players ascending and 5 players descending because I think it gives a little. But Eddie says there aren't 4 players to build around on defense. Yeah, he says, I guess Adebo, Bresee, Howden, and Taylor. And it's really, at this point, until Taylor gets maybe moved to the outside where he's natural at, it's just really Adebo and Bresee, bro. And that is sad. Like, that is
sad. That's sad. But I also would say I'm still a Lante believer, bro. Like,
I am.
The traits he has, I still believe in. Like, I remember, like, the first half of that Green Bay game, like, he was blitzing. He was everywhere, bro. He
played stellar, bro.
He still has the traits. He you know, they just
he got to get that. He got to get that DA stink off of him. Though. That mentality though. He got to get that away from him.
That's what I hate the most. That DA mindset creeping into the players.
I told you, bro. I told you, Ryan. That's like that's the biggest thing. Like, it's out of all the things, that is one of the biggest things to me because that's a thing that comes from the top and it goes down. It goes to everyone. And Ryan, you made such a great point. Is when you're a team and you're drafting based on need, just rather than just drafting based on like the best player or the player that grades the best. That's exactly how you end up with Isaiah Foskey. And people in my like if I say something about Isaiah Foskey on Twitter, sometimes people get well, you just got to give him time. Blah, blah. Why? Brian Branch didn't need time. Why does he get what?
Sam Laporta ain't need time, man. And here's the thing, bro. I tell you, I was watching my first time cracking open the draft last season, and he was like the second player I looked at, Isaiah Foskey, because he was, I just pull up a list of players, go down the list, check out 1 or 2 games, just to get a mind for how little. And I wrote down like right on my little Excel sheet, said struggles with power. Does he have strength? That was like the question I asked. Does he have that play strength? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if I'm seeing that, and I don't know shit, I don't know nothing, how do they not see that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they not see it? That's the things I don't get. You know what I'm saying? It just boggles my mind. And that's not to say he's not going to have a good career, that he's not going to become a good player. Could very well become a good player. But when you stack the bubble or whatever it is, and you got players like this guy here can immediately contribute to my team. This guy could be an immediate impact player to my team. Man, listen.
I don't know. It and the crazy thing about I was in I won't say like incompetence, but just told very confidently that when the second round started, more than likely the pick was going to be Brian Branch. Their bubble. The crazy thing is the funny thing is the Saints scouting is not terrible sometimes because their bubble was the bubble was the 4 players in the second round they wanted was Laporta, Mingo, and I believe if I'm remembering correctly, this is the order that they had them stacked. Laporta, Mingo, Brian Branch, Isaiah Foskey. Laporta gets drafted by Detroit before the Saints can pick. Mingo gets taken by the Panthers before the Saints can pick. It comes down to Branch and it comes down to Foskey. And that's a perfect example of a team going with a need, just more than just the best player on their board. And that's how you have Brian Branch making plays out here for the Detroit Lions, looking like the Detroit basically got 2 versions of CD Deuce, bro. Ain't that crazy? It's they took CD Deuce and just cloned him and said, "There you go." And Aaron Glenn ooh, I could do something with this.
Crazy. And like you said, bro, like the Saints scout, they have good scouts, bro. Like
Yes.
when they reorganized the front office a couple of years ago, they brought in some like very well respected, like around the league scouts. I forgot who the head scout is, but he's like one of the most well respected guys in the league. Like people live and die by like his scouting and shit like that. They got good scouts, but you know, all the scouts do is watch players, file a scouting report. Rest is up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to figure out the rest. We give you the grade, y'all got to figure out the rest, and that's where the Saints have been failing at.
I still want to know who pounded the table for Isaiah Foskey. I want to know, bro. I don't know. I don't know who did. I don't know if it was a Jeff Ireland thing. I don't know if it was a DA thing. I don't know who it was, but somewhere in there, someone got like overruled. And
somebody like, man, look, Peyton Turner, man, listen, we need some pass rush.
they went out and got a second round Peyton Turner, bro.
Boy, they're stayed injured. They ain't play. I'm like, how are you injured?
Bro, I was watching the Lions Bucks game and Joe Tryon was out there making some plays and just looking a little feisty, bro. And I'm just like,
Tryon be trying, man.
Mitch says, nonsense question. Do you think the tush push is made illegal next year? No, I do not. Tony, regarding the draft, needs should be just a tiebreaker if you're on the clock and have a few players graded similarly. And that's the thing. I think they had Branch and Foskey graded similarly, and then they just went with need over that. And the crazy thing is, like, player-wise, they shouldn't have been graded that similarly. Someone asked how we got their actual draft board. Can't give it all, bro. Like, can't give it all.
Just trust us.
Oh, you can't say that. People go, oh, you're just telling us to trust us, and we don't know who your sources are. What? We don't believe that. Okay, all right, cool. I don't really care. Mark said, whoever pounded the table for Foskey needs to lose their draft privileges. Absolutely. I need their key card when they go into the draft room. Like, oh, that's not working. Can't get into the office. All right, we went literally 30 minutes over 30 minutes, but it was fun just getting on here, answering questions, talking Saints, talking playoffs. So I will ask you this, Ryan. NFC Championship game, Lions and 49ers in Santa Clara, Kansas City at Ravens in Baltimore. Give me who is going to be in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, man, it's a tough one, bro. It's tough, man. But something about the 49ers ain't look right to me yesterday, even though they won. Could have been a rain. It could have been, I don't know, maybe. Something ain't look right. Flip side, Detroit's defense is wow. Like they make plays.
They're like a high version of a sweat equity defense.
Very much so, and you know the variance is high with them. You know what I'm saying? So
Debo being out is like a crucial fucking thing. Potentially, we don't know.
Huge if he doesn't play. I'm gonna roll with the Lions. Gonna win that game just because I'm a Lions fan this year, rooting for them. So I'm saying it's gonna be the Lions versus Baltimore. Okay. Just because I want some just something different. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, bro. I get it. I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna go the rematch of what the start of the season, bro. Full circle. Lions is Kansas City.
I can see it. That'd be awesome.
I
think honestly, if I'm the Lions, I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Even though it's Mahomes, but the fact that you've beaten him in beaten him in week one,
the confidence it would be up. You like the Chiefs again? Shit, run it back. Bet. We already showed that we could beat them.
Right. I wouldn't want to face Lamar if I was them. I'm like,
no.
I don't want Lamar in that defense.
No.
It's nasty.
That's why that AFC Championship game gonna be like. You talk about football porn. That is the definition. That AFC Championship game this upcoming Sunday is going to be football porn. You have the best quarterback of this generation, one of the best quarterbacks ever, going against one of the best defenses we've seen in a very long time. Oh my God, bro, I can't wait. Sherm, last question. Sherm goes, who is more important to keep, AK or Lattimore? I mean, I love AK, and I'm not with like the running backs don't matter crowd. Hashtag all running backs matter. But it is potentially easier to find a player that can at least like repeat AK's production than it is easier to find someone that could do what Lattimore does. Because like prior to injury, Lattimore was playing like a top 5, top 3 corner. Like that, like, and I think as a Saints fan, that's why it sticks with me so much, because like we went for years trying to find a corner. Post Jabari Greer, bro. Like we found Jabari, he got hurt. And even before Jabari, like before we found Jabari, it was rough. We found Jabari, he gets hurt. Post Jabari,
hold up,
Sterling Moore, Ghost Boy. Like it's hard to find a top 5 cornerback. So like those do not grow on trees, bro, and they are hard to find and hard to identify. So to me, that's like that is for sure a harder player to replace.
Right. Like for me, it'll be. I mean, it's an easy question to me. Like,
yeah,
it's Sean, but my heart says AK though. Like,
right,
AK
right.
Hurt me here. You know what I'm saying? It hurt me here. But football logic wise, like man, like even though the Saints defense was fine without Lattimore, like they were okay. Like, don't get it twisted. Like when he's on the field, it changes your defense, bro. It changes
schematically.
Completely changes what you're able to do. Teams
like I was watching the Bucks game and just thinking like, you know, Mike Evans started to cook a little bit against Cam Sutton, and I was just like, man, like if Aaron Glenn just had like Lattimore, bro, like he wouldn't even have to like not like in theory he wouldn't have to worry about that side. You're like, you know what, I got Lat, like he got Mike Evans. I'm good. I can put my resources like that's what Lattimore does to a defense when he's on and he's healthy, like easily. Mike says Sarah J level of football porn. No, man, I'm talking like I'm no. I think she gets she's underrated. I'm talking about like Shyla Styles. I'm talking about Gianna. I'm talking about Brie Olsen. I'm talking about the elite level of football on Sunday. Let's get it corrected, bro.
No Sarah J hate here.
No, none at all. But anyhow, thank y'all for watching. We got like our biggest like concurrent viewers watching all at one time was 40. We've got 140 views just overall to the live show, which was cool as hell. About people watch for like 19 minutes in total was the average time of duration of watching us. So we appreciate it. We will be back this upcoming week with our actual podcast. If you missed this entire show, you can either go back and watch on YouTube, or we will be releasing it as a Patreon only episode. So please make sure you check it out. Thank y'all so much for the support. We had, I need to spend time with the family and do things like that. Before I forget, I do want to give a big shout out to my mom, my grandma, who had her 82nd birthday on Friday. Blessing. Shout out to our dude Mike, who also shares a birthday with my grandma, who has been just a great person and just a great individual, just supporting us as we've been doing this podcast. And just want to give another quick shout out to someone else who has the same birthday as my grandma, and it's Mike, and is no longer with us, but that person is a dear a relative of someone who is a dear friend of mine. So always thinking of that person, even though they're no longer with us. So just a reminder, just always just love love on the people that you love, man. Like this is life. Life is very finite. So enjoy life, take advantage of it, make
No
moments,
question.
and just live it to the best of your ability. But
No question. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Mary Marshall. I put a word out, said, man, I need somebody to give me a king cake from Tasty Donuts in New Orleans, when them little, Mackenzie style king cakes from back in the day. Put the word out. She hooked me up.
there you
My
go.
wife, thank you. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There
Thank
you
you. I
go.
really appreciate that. We ate it all up.
Um, Zach goes, are you guys still leaning to have a draft party meetup, or will y'all know after the Super Bowl? Great question. I will have that answer tonight after some discussions are held.
The boy Zach, Zach turned up in that thing.
I mean, if so, all I gotta do is see what the temperature is of it being held. But I think I found the right flight and the right room rate that I can make it happen. I just gotta get the okay. As long as I get the okay, we're gonna have the drop party. But we'll see. We'll
Get the Patrons up. We need some more Patrons.
please. I mean, that's really the reason why we got like 10, 15 Patreons last draft party we did. So we'll see. But thank y'all so much for real. We appreciate it. We'll be back this upcoming week with our actual podcast episode, doing the top five ascending, top five descending, and kind of go from there. Thank y'all. We'll be back. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. With that, we're out.
Peace. Mm, 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 mm.